Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party of dummies adventure across the lands. Talik Grug, half orc, half fighter. The Mystery, played by Taylor. The Eclarian Shadow, half elf ranger from the Eclarian Mountains, played by Seth. And a Learlock Bloodhair, a Harengon cleric, played by Joey. Last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam. And we got a new tent. Is this our orc friend?
No, that tent has been there, and I've just never deleted it. When I made this camp, I had 4 tents. And
It worked for our Grumsh guy. I don't remember where we left off. He might be long gone. He is gone, isn't he?
I think he's gone.
My
like 2
God.
sessions ago, gone.
Yeah, before
I do this every time.
He left before the great running of the Aurochs that the dirt people would tell for generations.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
about that.
He was gone.
Yeah, he left when y'all met
that's right.
Jegfree. He was like,
All right.
Hey,
"Later,
where is
guys."
that bastard, right? He's supposed to be here.
What? No, he
We
came
went
out,
back to his house.
partied
Okay,
with
good.
you
I'm not
one
the only
night,
one.
and then y'all left the next day, and he left that night. Maybe he left the next morning. I think he left the next morning. Oh, man.
My
Goodness
brain
gracious.
is a scary place.
It's a puddle of mud.
I remember the small details and totally forget major plot points.
I guess we're all here. We're actually all here. I don't like. Can someone else do a recap thing? I didn't like Taylor's. I like that less.
Like an alarm. It's like an alarm.
Oh, what if the God?
All right, hit us with the.
You want to recap?
It's so annoying sounding. It's so weak. That's what I don't like about it.
It's like half committed.
God. That was pretty decent.
Recap!
Oh, there
In
we
the
go.
previous
Get it.
session, it was the 34th of August at 6 p.m. We found ourselves in Okerjest. There was a 3-way split on what path should be taken, with Talik being wary of Jegfree but wanting to have conversations with Baron Shunfire. Learlock really wanted to get in there and talk to Jegfree to see what was going on with what he had to say about Baron Shunfire. Shadow didn't even understand why the party had returned to Okerjest, favoring the decision to pursue whatever might have been happening near the Eclarian Mountains, which is his homelands, considering that the forest at the foothills of it had been burned. In a conversation, the party ultimately decides to go talk to Jegfree first. In a conversation with Jegfree, he doubles down that the Baron is the one who's responsible for the fire and is pretty convincing about it, even with Shadow trying to charm some truth out of him. At which point he offers to read the palms of all the party, and a Learlock agrees to go first. Jegfree does some weird shit, reads the Learlock's palm and fortune, and says that a Learlock could cure Talik's lycanthropy with help from his deity, as well as some stuff about some red things and some sand that the note taker didn't quite understand. Then Talik consents to Jegfree reading his palm and fortune and future, and Jegfree reveals that Talik's mother is inhabiting his ring, and his father was indeed a sorcerer. Talik pleadingly wants to continue communicating with his mother after the connection is severed, and Jegfree tells Talik to find a sacred place to, I guess, the orcs to be able to communicate further with his mother, who is inhabiting his ring that has protected his mind at various points through the campaign. The party then goes to the Baron's estate and speaks to Baron Shunfire, at which point it gets a little heated as the Baron does admit to setting the fire, and Shadow begins to lose his composure. Briefly, but no violence ensues as words are exchanged and the gold for the bounty is handed over. At which point, the note taker was distracted because he says, "We buy a horse for Joey," and not a Learlock. So that's amusing.
So Joey gets a horse.
So
Love it.
Joey got a horse.
Wow.
Will
Oh, you
be
got room for that.
Nope.
Aphrodite can sit on the back.
She'd be terrified.
It is a smaller horse. It's a standard riding horse named Dorian, named by a Learlock, or it's I don't know why I named it that.
Wait, hold on. Is there a reason you named it that?
Oh, you know. Yeah.
Cool. Does it have anything to do with the stinky fruit?
No.
That's Durian.
That's very close.
There we go.
Dorian Gray is an immortal creature whose soul is kept in a painting and ages so that his body doesn't.
Like from the classic story
Yeah,
that they include in that one with all the classic stories.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Man, that movie's so cool.
It is cool. The party leaves Okerjest because they don't know how the Baron feels about him at this moment. So at that point, they go outside of Okerjest and make camp just on the inside of the woods there, south of the city. And Jack Free comes to the camp and reads Shadow's Palm. Sees royalty in Shadow's blood, which is no great surprise to Shadow, may or may not have been to the rest of the party. And there's a strange song in the air, at which point the speak scroll that they carry for Bushi to communicate with them begins to ring. Bushi's very clear that he needs us to go to the Rising Sun Tower deep north in the Eclarian mountain range in an effort to identify what is going on, because based on his reports, there is something equally as cosmically frustrating occurring at the Rising Sun Tower that was also occurring at the Moon something tower.
Old Moon Tower.
Old Moon Tower. At which point, the party then begins something called a hex crawl, which this player did not know existed and is very excited about. And that began on the 35th of Harvest. A couple of days went by in that before combat initiated with a group of giant spiders that had some lightning capabilities. The party just gets right into it with a bunch of...
Dove in head first.
Dove in head first, literally, to the point where Shadow is ultimately paralyzed and is being dragged off, and Talik and Learlock heroically dimension door like badasses and save the day. And that is where we ended.
Yeah.
That was a great recap. I just
That
want to say.
was very thorough. Oh,
Quality
and
recap.
speaking of great recaps and great work by Seth, you mentioned the words exchanged with the Baron, and I was literally I've been thinking about that all week of how you just like lined him out, and so you get inspiration. So for the land blast of the Baron.
That's your plan worked. I hate that motherfucker. I'm switching his name back to Baron Cuntfire in my notes.
he had your respect for a brief moment.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So one thing that I didn't mention for the listeners, y'all are looking at this hex map and you can see that it basically y'all could go either up the side of the mountain or like across some fields farther out east. It'd be like a long trip around, or you can do what y'all are doing, which is to ride along the foothills of the mountains all the way up. But as the crow flies from Okerjest, it's like 300 miles to where the Rising Sun Tower is marked on y'all's map. So like, we're talking about some serious trekking that's about to go down. With that said, I sent y'all the link to the Harpy if y'all want to look at the map. There's a little snip in the Discord if y'all just want to go based off of that map.
Okay, so how many hexes have we moved and have we rested and all that?
So We ended last session with y'all resting, and I'm pretty sure we went through the process of y'all using your rations and everything before we called it a night.
Okay.
I put in a little bullet list into the
Start
Discord.
day, decide path.
Decide path. And basically declare that to me so that I know what weather to roll, because the weather changes depending on what type of hex you're moving into. So I need to know what you're going to move into.
Okay.
Then you move into a hex and make whatever roll you want, and the rolls are per hex. So, the first hex you move into, you make either a survival or perception roll. You can make other rolls. I think I threw history in here as an example. Something like if there was something else you wanted to do, you can, but like the basics are perception or survival. And then we resolve those rolls. Whether you find some rations with your survival check, whether you find like a point of interest, and then I'm rolling in the background while y'all are making those rolls to see if there's a random encounter. That's also per node. We reduce rations based on what node you end in and what the weather is in that node. And then we end the day and rest, and then it cycles again.
So we did finish with the long rest, correct?
Yes, y'all should all have a long rest, and I'm pretty sure that we reduced y'all's rations already.
Okay. So it is the 36th of harvest at 7 a.m.
My vote is that you just navigate us, Shadow.
So Shadow sat down last night and studied his maps and camp, and is mildly concerned about our ability to cross the river.
The Great Velk of Odin.
He will be continuing to work on that at camp in the evenings.
Yeah, it looks like it's inevitable.
Yeah, I mean it
Yeah.
starts way up in a different mountain range to the
And
east.
it goes all the way to the west, to
Yeah.
northwest.
And it cuts through this mountain range, splitting it into two ranges essentially. Definitely defying some map making rules, but it's fantasy world. We take some liberties.
Alright, Shadow, lead the way.
Okay, so we will start the 37th, moving into the hex immediately north of our position.
Okay, so let's make some rolls. So what are you guys rolling?
I'm gonna do survival.
Okay.
I will also do survival.
Ooh, 22. 19 on the die.
20.
Perception 13.
So let me just tell y'all what kind of day it is that you're experiencing. It is a very warm day, a high of 80 today as you travel into the mountains. So very warm for the hills and the season. It is, getting late fall here. Pretty much no wind as you're traveling through, and no rain. So honestly, gorgeous day. Couldn't ask for anything better. Talik, you find enough food and water for 3 people for one day. And then Shadow, you find goat hoof markings leading off up the hill a little ways. Joey, as y'all are walking along, you see a little rodent scurry underneath a rock that appears to have a bit of an odd appearance to him.
Odd appearance to the rodent?
Yes, to the rodent. Yeah, he looked instead of fuzzy, he seemed to be very coarse, almost not scaly, maybe gravelly would be the right word to use.
And he's not visible now under the rock?
He just kind of darts up underneath a rock.
I will just go try to see if I can see the creature behind the rock.
Yeah, you kind of peer up underneath the rock, and you see that it's not just one little shrew. They're little shrews. They got a little pointy nose. There seem to be a couple of them up in this little nest underneath a rock.
Little buggers. Just trying to make your way in the world, eh? I'll just leave them be.
Okay. I mentioned you noticed some little goat hoof prints. Your roll's high enough. You actually see up on a hill what appears to be the statue of a goat.
Oh my.
That's weird. So Shadow goes up and investigates the goat statue.
Yeah, so you walk up this hill a little ways, and as you're walking up, you see that there's several goat statues, and you can tell from a distance that these things are like incredibly high detail, like super intricate carvings. They're just kind of on the side of this hill leading up, and you think you see a little cave up by where they are.
Okay, so does Shadow know who carved the goat statues?
Why don't you make me a history check?
20.
20. So you're looking at these ghost statues, and they're so highly detailed. They're honestly beyond the skill of anything that would live in this area. I mean, like even the dwarves of Fev wouldn't be able to carve something this fancy, and it's almost unnerving. It's almost eerie how high quality they are.
Fascinating.
Yeah, they're just like eerily high detail, and you actually notice that they're not in any particular rhyme or fashion. Some of them are just like standing there like they'd be pulling at a piece of shrub, and others are like in the middle of sprinting and just weird different kind of poses that don't really make a lot of sense.
Guys, these goats look weird. They look almost real. Can I touch one?
Sure.
I just reach out and knock on it.
It knocks like stone. Felt very much like a solid stone statue. Just heavy talk, talk, talk. As you get closer, you definitely see that there's a cave that these guys are standing out in front of.
Shadow goes up to the cave entrance and peers in.
It appears to go in pretty deep. There's a little entrance area here, about 20 feet or so in, and then there's a little turn off to the side. And there's another goat statue standing right inside of the cave.
What's up there?
There's another goat.
Why are there statues out here in the middle of the hills?
I don't know. Maybe the dwarves or giants carved them.
This goat statue is interesting because it looks like its head got knocked off at some point. But it's not, on the ground or anything. It's just broken off and discarded somewhere.
Pollock, somebody eat this goat's head.
The statue?
Yeah, it's gone.
I think I bend down and take a bite out of this one. See what it tastes like.
It is stone. Make me a Constitution.
It tastes like shit.
Shadow just
Oh
completely
my God.
ignores it.
Make me an unarmed attack roll on the stone. Oh man.
So Shadow is going to pull out his wand of magic detection
You bite a tiny chunk off of it with your 18.
and tap on this goat.
Ugh.
Tap on this goat a little bit and cast detect magic.
Okay. You do get a magic result. You pick up some transmutation magic.
Pollock, get the fuck up here. Something's fucky.
Something's fucky.
I come up the hill.
Alirlock. Oh, you're right behind me. Holy shit.
Yep. just looking at this goat.
He only wears slippers, man. He doesn't make a lot of noise.
I know, Shadow hasn't been
And he's
stuck up
got
by
fuzzy
anyone
feet.
or anything his whole life, and Alirlock just sneaks up on him nonstop. Alirlock, there's some transmutation magic afoot.
All right.
What? Y'all want me to go in there?
No. Do something magic. Ears?
What are you asking me? I don't understand. I go up to the goat and I will cast Dispel Magic on the goat at 3rd level.
I like
Oh,
that.
he's doing the magic shit.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
I was about to bite it.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
I tried to dispel the magic and then nothing Nothing took hold.
You think this statue's magic?
Oh, so I can see a faint aura. Sam.
So all these guys are glowing with a dim green glow of
all
transmutation
the
magic.
goats
All the goat statues.
and dispel magic didn't work.
Indeed.
If I didn't dispel it, there's probably pretty powerful magic.
So Shadow cups both of his hands together and puts them up to his mouth, and he goes, "Hello? Is anybody home?"
Oh boy.
Let me see. I always forget what all the
Oh,
skills
be
are.
careful.
What?
Just make me a charisma roll. Just a general.
Charisma roll.
Yeah.
Riz.
Just roll your Riz at it.
19.
Jesus.
19.
W Riz.
Not calling that a Riz check ever.
That's W Riz right there.
The Riz Master.
KAKW Riz.
No cap.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your voice echoes into the cave and echoes back to you, but there's no answer or response.
Now, why would you go and do a thing like that?
What do you mean?
There's nothing here. Clearly, just some traveling statue artist came through here. I'm going in.
Alec, when has that ever been true?
I don't
You
know.
the classic traveling statue artist.
This is your area of expertise.
Well, I don't
Walking
know
down.
these goats, and I haven't been in this cave.
Oh goodness.
Can I roll a perception check or anything? Do I see anything? Do I feel anything?
Sure, yeah. Roll me a Percepi.
Jesus Christ.
Percepi Giuseppe. 14.
14. You don't really see or hear anything. It's pretty quiet in this cave.
Ooh, mushrooms. I picked some.
Oh goodness. Lord help us.
I'm gonna save you for later, and I put it in my pocket.
As you come around the corner, you see that it opens up a little bit and turns off to the right, but then across the passageway that turns off to the right, there's a little alcove, and you see what appears to be something wooden reflecting off of the crystal light in the cave. You see maybe a table or chairs?
There's something over here to the right. Looks like somebody's lives here or has been here. I don't know.
Just
Look.
for clarification, there's not like any ambient light or anything in here, right?
There's a little bit of ambient light. Yeah, there's some crystals in the cave, and it's dim light throughout the cave.
Okay.
Some glowing crystals.
Guys, there's something here. I think we should sneak a little bit. Somebody get in front of me. You sneaky bastards. Get up
Everybody press C. Shift C.
Shadow just quietly strolls forward, and he's looking at Talik like, I'm always sneaking.
That's my secret cap.
here. I let them get in front of me.
Alright, y'all make me stealth checks. Sneaky boys.
At that comment, can I cast what is the thing that I want to cast? Can I cast Pass Without Trace?
So y'all have plus 10s to your stealth. Is that the number?
That is
the
the number.
absurd, broken, bonkers number that they give you?
Yep. I'm gonna use it.
Oh, man.
Oh my.
All right, I'm rolling mine. I roll with disadvantage though. Oof. I got a 6, but I am in the back.
Yeah, but it's a 16 because it passed without trace.
Oh, okay.
I got a 30.
Oh my god, what'd you get, Joey?
I rolled a 1. So 11 plus 2, 13.
But it's a
that's
nat one.
worse than Taylor's. No, for skill checks, nat 1s and nat 20s don't matter. It's just the number.
Right.
I roll stealth checks with
13.
advantage.
Okay.
And I have disadvantage.
You slink up here, Shadow, and you spot, sure enough, a table and chairs, and it looks like a little chest in the corner.
Hmm.
Shadow doesn't trust anything, so he gets up close to the chest, about 10 feet, and he holds his glaive and he kind of crouches down to get his head low, so if something comes flying out, it's not going to hit him in the face. He kind of recoils a little bit and tucks his shoulder up into his chin, and he sticks the glaive out, and he kind of gives the chest a little nudge and tries to move the latch and see if he can open it.
Yeah, like tries to twist it with the tip of the glaive.
Yeah.
So you reach your glaive in and click. The lid pops loose and lifts
Oh
up a
my
little
God.
bit, like
I
the hood of a
thought-
car.
That was an action click. I was trying. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, like a hood of a car. It's popped up a little bit.
Okay, so then he's gonna try to wedge the tip of the glaive in a flat blade and kind of pick up the lid.
Yeah, so you lift the lid up and it kind of flops open, and inside there's a couple of bags. You can't quite tell what they are. Maybe they might be provisions or something, maybe some rice or sugar or something. There's actually a big cheese wheel on one side, and there's a little bit of what appears to be just some loose coinage around. There's 20 copper and 10 silver just kind of tossed in here.
10 silver cheese wheel. Okay, so Shadow is looking around to see if there's a trap, because this feels so much like a trap. He can't even believe that the trap has yet to be sprung.
You search for traps. Make me an investigation check.
Not 20.
Oh, baby.
You scour this thing with the skill only a well-seasoned ranger could have and find no traps.
Okay, so Shadow's like, visibly relaxes a little bit and opens up or walks up to the open chest. And,
Yeah, as you rummage around, sure enough, it does look like some provisions. Interesting enough, nothing's like rotten in here. Even the cheese just has like a little film of mold on it. Talik, as you're approaching the table, you notice there's just barely any dust on the table itself, even in this environment. Shadow, you do find a gorgeous gem inside of this thing. It's a very large sapphire that you think is probably worth 500 gold.
Without thinking, he just twitches his little elf ears and tries to discern where Leerlock is and just tosses it over his shoulder without looking. Says, "Ears, catch!" Throws it backwards to a Leerlock.
I do my damnness to catch that thing.
You can catch it. So you catch this sapphire. Whew, comes flying at you.
I wipe a finger across this table. People have been here recently, guys. The stuff's not even very dusty.
Alec, can you hop up in that crevasse right there? It looks like something's up there.
Yeah, I see it back in the back of the room. About what, head high, a little higher? Can I hop up there, Sam?
Yeah, you can climb up there. It's easy to climb on up there.
I pull myself up. What do I see?
There just appears to be a little bag up here.
There's a bag of something. Should I open it? I'm gonna open it. I've already stuck my hand in it.
Okay. You open it up, and it appears to be mining tools. It's a pretty big sack, and it's got shovels and picks and stuff like that.
Nothing that I would care to take.
Nah.
Mining tools up here.
Oh, bring him to me.
Maybe dwarves or something? I'll grab the sack and carry it down. Are there normally dwarves in this area, Shadow?
Where there's mountains and caves, there's dwarves. So Shadow gets the sack of mining tools and starts trying to discern if there's any markings on any of the handles or any markings from a specific smith on the steel or.
Yeah, make me just history. Make me a history check.
Okay. Natural 2 with the +1 for 3. Don't know shit about mining tools, Talik. Why not ask you to bring me these?
Yeah.
He smacks the shovel on his hand. He's like, "It's a shovel." Yep, that's a
Dig-
shovel.
Use these for digging.
I'm still impressed. I think Shadow's really smart. Like, oh, shovel.
Oh.
Shovel.
So
Wow.
Shadow's gonna position them in the path because if he can't determine who owns them, he may take some of them with him. But he's gonna continue deeper into the cave. Talik,
Right.
stand back here for a little bit. Let me and Leerlock go down here and see if we can see anything. We'll yell. You're fast. Try not to kick any skeletons down any holes.
All right, fine.
Now just remember, we have to stick close for this stealth to keep itself going.
Oh yeah.
It lasts for an hour.
Lag behind a little bit there, Talik.
What's the range on it, Joey?
30 feet.
30 feet. As you move forward a little bit, y'all's passive perception, Shadow and Alirlock, y'all spot that there's a path that goes off to the right, and you actually see another table down there off to the right, and it looks like there might be another statue. You can't quite tell. There's something else stone down there, but there's also a little overgrown spot right here on the left, and you realize that there's actually an opening there that you could push through the overgrown stuff.
Cups his hands again and goes, "Hello? Is anybody home?"
Nothing happens. So as you approach up there, Shadow, you notice that these statues are different. These are statues of people, not goats. And these statues are really decayed. They're missing, arms and pieces out of the hips and chest and all over the place.
Shadow, do those statues have any magical aura essence?
The more and more we are in here, the more and more I'm afraid that there is something in here we don't want to tangle with. I haven't checked them for magical presence, but my goodness, I can't imagine that they were carved.
What was that statue artist doing down here in this cave? It's weird.
So Shadow at this point has determined that he's done sneaking. He is going to throw out a rust bag of tricks. Fuzzball.
Okay.
Talik, get up here.
Okay, I'm coming.
Cover me.
Get up right in front of Shadow.
That will be a 4, which
Oh
is
gosh. Is it our goat?
a goat.
Scruffy!
A regular goat.
Oh,
Not a giant goat, a regular
Scruffy. You're smaller than I
Scruffy.
remember.
goat. Scruffy shrink.
No, Scruffy's the boar.
Oh, you're not Scruffy. You have horns. You're horny.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Hey, little horny guy. Reach out and pet him.
Shadow, who I don't think has done this in front of Alirlock yet, looks over at Alirlock
Meh.
Oh yeah, you have.
and winks and touches the goat and goes limp as he enters the goat's mind.
What just happened to him?
He's
did he
inside
go?
horny.
Hmm?
The goat
Hmm?
the goat looks over at Talik and just kind of goes, "Meh,"
See, that's Shadow. That's our Shadow right
and
there.
goes trotting through the cave.
Well, that's
Oh
certainly
man,
a
so he
trick.
goes trotting through. You pass these two humanoid statues. You pass another goat statue deep in here, and this one is like broken all to hell. You can barely tell that it's still a goat. It's actually fallen over, and like half of it's missing. It's totally crumbled into oblivion.
Okay.
And then you see another humanoid statue up on a rock as you round the corner, and there's kind of two paths down around this rock. The rock's another 5 feet up or so, and there's two little narrow paths on either side of it.
Billy Goat Scruff don't give a fuck and kind of scrambles up that little 5-foot rock.
Yeah, so you climb up the rock, and you see off to your right there is a large man-made structure. It's actually a lifted up area that's probably 10 feet off the ground with posts supporting it, and there's bedding and storage and all sorts of stuff. There's another humanoid statue up there that's really rough. It's completely fallen apart. And then underneath that structure, there's a whole bunch of just random boxes and crates and stuff. And you can see from here jewels and currency and coins just kind of busted out of boxes and bags and stuff. Seth, right as you get to the top of that rock there, you look down and you see this just kind of mass of scaly creature, and one of them kind of, with the presence of something nearby it, raises its head up a little bit and opens its eyes and looks up at the goat. I need the goat to make me a con saving throw.
11.
You feel your whole body stiffening, and then you are shunted out of the goat back into your own body.
Oh, he's back. What'd you say?
Shadow sits there and puts his finger to his lips and has this wild look in his eyes as he's sitting and listening to see if there's any movement happening.
And for a moment, it's totally silent, and there's just not much of a breath of sound. And then you hear a kind of turning of soil, like a, and then you hear pounding feet headed your way, and I need you to roll initiative.
The moment we roll initiative, Shadow says, "Run." 14.
Oh, 22.
21.
All right, good rolls across the board, guys. So Talik, you go first.
What are we running from?
The fucking statue artist!
Ah, I hate artists. I'll take the full dash action and run back the way we came, 60 feet. Am I going the right way? Yeah.
You just run deeper into the cave.
Yeah, I'll just dash out 60 feet and end my turn.
Okay, and it is Alirlock's turn.
I'm going to follow suit and use my action and movement to get 60 feet. And then I'll also, for fun, rabbit hop another 15 feet with my bonus action.
So you and Talik start running, and like y'all are running about the same speed, and then you just start hopping. You're just like boing, boing, and pull ahead.
Fuck?
Okay, Shadow. I guess you were more interested in your buddies getting out than
recovering from controlling a goat.
Yeah, well, and you were down on one knee listening when you told them to run. So this thing comes around the corner, and it's gonna get, oh my gosh, it gets like all the way up to you.
Oh shit!
With its full movement.
Oh, Jesus.
And you see
we
this
done?
thing. It's this 8-legged reptilian creature with this huge, like, smiley pit bull
Toothy maw.
style mouth that goes all the way back. It's fully unhinges this big, powerful looking jaw. Its eyes are just absolutely the wildest, glowing pearls you've ever seen in your entire life. Make me a nature check, Seth.
I am so uncomfortable.
You're in the mountains, so it'll be an advantage.
Oh, thank God, because that first one was a 5. The second was a 5 too.
Oh,
You're not sure what this creature is, and as
Oh
it
my
comes
God.
running around the corner towards you, its eyes catch your attention, and you have this repeat moment of the goat situation that you were just dealing with, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
oh shit! Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us.
I like to say my brain is a diesel engine. It takes a
Hey,
while
Jeff
to crank
Foxworthy.
up. Like it takes a little while to get it going. I'm
Mhm.
like, somebody just cold calls me like, "Hey, remember that time?" I'm like, "No, absolutely not."
yeah, that's
But
okay.
then, like-
Then that's fine too.
Yeah, once they get me going, I'm like, "Oh yeah, and we did the such and such, and the blah blah blah, and then the thing goes, and
Yeah,
then you wappa
exactly.
do."
That's how Jeff
Exactly.
Foxworthy describes getting a woman off.
Sure. You know, my brain is like the genitals of a woman.
Nope. That should never be said again.
Your brain, that's going in.
That's a post credits comment.
He describes
post-credit.
getting men off as shooting off a bottle rocket. Light fuse, it goes up, it explodes, it's over.
That's really good. That's great. Oh man. Okay.